Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 538, released, here it is, April 2016. Cover price $5.99, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, please let me remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. That is the #1 way that you can support this channel, help it to continue to grow. It's free of charge, and you can do that, and you can make a difference in the world. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Here, if you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Link is down in the description. You can also support me by becoming a channel member on YouTube. Link is also down in the description. If you do that, what do you get? You get a 6 set of stickers. You get some pretty awesome buttons. And you could also get this. That awesome stencil. On YouTube, you get early access to all of my videos. Every video. I record it on Wednesday. If I post it that Wednesday, you get it right away. That's pretty sick. Anyway, these are the people whom I get to thank for their support today. Dean Jones, Hutch, Ben Forsgren, Joey Gesso, Reflection of Perfection, Frank Snyder, Tom Richmond, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Meadsbury, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. With that being said, let's get back to here. Let's get back to what matters. Mad Magazine. This is Mad Magazine number 538. Hoverboards are explosive expose. Hoverboards are interesting, are they? In as much as they were really popular, and now you can just find them at Goodwill all the time. And yeah, they were not what people thought they would be. Here we have our Mad Departments. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, isn't it? I only like one of the table of contents. Here we have the Celebrity Snap Offices edition. Here's Doogie Howser, right? What's his name? You never know who's going to stop by the Mad offices. Seriously, the security here is terrible. So we were pleasantly surprised when, instead of a disgruntled delivery man or particularly ambitious Jehovah's Witness, we got to hang out with Neil Patrick Harris. He was even nice enough to recreate the Celebrity Snap he sent in almost 25 years ago. That's pretty cool. This put things in perspective. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator and star of the hit Broadway show Hamilton, recently took to Twitter in an obvious attempt to lose some followers. As long as Dick DiBartolo is still writing spoofs for Mad Magazine, everything's gonna be okay. Funny and merciless, my whole life. I don't think he read Magazine even a day in his life. All right, that's my theory. So go tell Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's what I say. All right. There is something weird though. I remember loving Hamilton. And I was thinking when I read that, I was like, oh, well, a few things. This is multi-layered, okay? Mad Magazine kind of, they've been doing years now of reprint stuff. Are they coming back? Fingers crossed. They've been doing years of the reprint stuff. And they've been doing it so long that I saw this and I was like, wow, I didn't know they were doing something so recent as Hamilton. And then reality struck, which is that was 10 years ago. That was a long time ago that people cared about Hamilton, and it just feels like yesterday. I don't know. It's just time moves weird when you're getting older, and I am getting older. I'm 40 years old now. Anyway, I'm going to keep going because a lot of these eras, actually, it was mostly the era before this one. I really like a lot of the stuff in these. And this issue is filled with a lot of really great stuff. Here are the Fundalini pages. Jake, opinions are like podcasts. Everyone has one. Hey, and if you're interested in a podcast, check out the Potter ZB podcast, the comic book nerdcast that dares to ask, what? Me worry? That's with Kyle Bridget and I, so make sure you check that out. We have a Halloween episode coming out soon. This is, they have these like, I don't know what ad campaign this is, but it's like virtues, right? So every reason to smile, but doesn't. Dickishness, pass it on. So this is what they have going all throughout this, and it's lovely. Had lackeys deflate his balls, cheating, pass it on. They keep going. Got a job from her father, nepotism, pass it on. Really, I mean, that is pass it on is the motivating factor of nepotism, right? Reported fiction as news, bullshit, pass it on. And this is like filled with such great art, great art by Evan Dorkin, great art by Josh Josh Mekouch. Just, I don't know, it's just lovely. Here's Tom Chaney. So much for a minefield. Now all we have to do is get past the receptionist. I don't like that one, sorry. And then this is sort of the best one. Undefeated against all genders. Domestic violence, pass it on. That's pretty intense. Yeah, so good job. Who is that? Caitlin Bitzegario. Good job. I don't remember this. This is, I think this is very funny. I like this Donald Trump one. The GOP nuts. They did a sort of like 2.5D cartoon movie of Peanuts, and this is the GOP nuts, and it's just funny. I love that they used like realistic lips and teeth on this. It just really sells it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like every single one, but every single Trump joke. But that one, you got to give it when it's good. It's good. You gotta show respect. Oh, mad look at Star Wars: The Force Awakens, guys. This is my ongoing sort of, what is that called? Conspiracy theory about a mad look at. I think at a certain point, the mad look ats became advertisements. I think that they were paid. I think that he was assigned the mad look ats. And maybe he was always assigned them, but I think that the motivation for the assignment changed to monetary. It's hard to tell though, but I'm going to give you something that I think is a little in my favor and some evidence in my favor later on today. So I'm not going to give this much. I'm not going to give this much air here. You can hit pause if you really want to read them, but yeah, I didn't read these, and I typically don't when it is like a timely movie thing. How about this? William Shakespeare, pothead. Desmond Devlin wrote it, so you know it's good. Artist Rick Geary. Rick Geary is awesome. This is like a really neat thing to look at and to appreciate. Artistically, I don't know how many times I've seen his artwork colored. I think I might, no offense, Rick. I'm assuming you're the colorist on this. I kind of like it not colored. I think that when he was doing the black and white stuff for Mad, I think it's just sort of better. But it's still Rick Geary art, and I love it. I still love it. So there we go. Doobie or not doobie? That's like a question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to scarf down the Slim Jims, followed by Nutrageous, Funyuns, Oreos, Charms, Nutella, Cheez-Its, Ruffles, and accidentally my keys, to blaze, then toke some more, and by a toke I mean this hemp, which can be used 1,000 different ways, but mostly just one. 'Tis an inhalation that goes real good with fish. I listened to Fish in high school. I loved Fish. Ooh, Taylor Swift fun facts. This is timely, right? I mean, it's 10 years old, but it's still, she's like the biggest act in the world. Taylor Swift's unique dancing style at award shows is inspired by those inflatable tube men seen outside of car dealerships. 5'10", Taylor's height, were roughly the equivalent of two Bruno Marses standing atop one Ariana Grande. 1989, both the name of Taylor's most recent album and the number of boyfriends she's had in the past 11 months. 1,989. Taylor's hit single, Shake It Off, has been adopted as the unofficial theme song of the National Association of Men's Restroom Attendants. There you go. I have some people I could send that to. They might be amused by it or bemused by it. Here we have old Tommy Bunk, Tommy B. Things you probably didn't know about hoverboards. This is from like Canva. You can do this in Canva. Maybe I'll do this as like the mad, the thumbnail. I'll have it be, the numbers be in this so you can see in case you think I'm lying. They can go as fast as 12 miles per hour, but rarely do, as passerbys continually shove their riders off in disgust. They were invented by an eccentric tinkerer named Bob Hoverboard. They've been banned from airports due to pressure from the powerful moving walkway lobby. Brazilian engineer Jorgito Barbosa set a new Guinness World Record by breaking his arm in 16 places in 9 consecutive hoverboarding accidents. They're environmentally safe, according to an onboard circuitry made by Volkswagen. Volkswagen famously, when you would get an emissions test on their diesels, golly, what are you doing? What are you doing, Biscuit? Say hello. Say hello. Okay. When it was plugged in to get the emissions test, it would actually change the engine mode and would burn cleaner. And then when they took it off the emissions test, whatever, it would go back to being terribly polluting. There have been reports of hoverboards bursting into flames, which seems like a problem solving itself. All right, look at this beautiful Tom Bunk artwork. Just, is it too good? It might be. Zoom in on that. I'll zoom in on that. Let's do that. And look at this, golly. The man in the yellow hat, Curious George. Why is Curious George and the man in the yellow hat in this? Who cares? Who cares? That's what I have to say. Look at, they're all Uber board. You could get oh, you guys can't see that yet. There's the Uber board. How delightful. We're going to move on to something else. Batman and what is it? Batman versus Superman. The real reasons Batman, oh, don't step on that, man. Batman and Superman hate each other. Okay, you're naughty. This feels like another ad. It really does. Why? Because they're owned by the same parent company. I hate to do this because I love Herman Mejia. And this is like, that Batfleck, this looks like Ben Affleck. I mean, how do you do that? How do you make a guy with 2/3 of his face covered still look like the actor? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. He routinely farts and blames it on on crypto. He keeps calling me Clark in public. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was paid for. That's all. This is not an ad. This is a house ad. We don't do ad alerts for house ads. This is so good. This is so freaking good. Surefire ways your parents will know you had a party. There's an alcohol poisoned stowaway. When I was doing the laundry, I noticed the machine was making this ping noise. Megan here was good enough to take a closer look. You forgot to replace stuff. So you had such violent diarrhea that you went through 16 rolls of toilet paper? Yeah, and I used a few rolls to dust my room. Your neighbor returns the speaker that wound up in her yard. Oh, hey, Mrs. Deffendorf, how did that work out for you? Did you get the richer tone you were hoping for? You didn't pay enough attention to how things looked pre-party. I know the microwave wasn't always out here, but it's pretty darn convenient, isn't it? Also, it always bugged me that the coffee table was so far away from the coffee pot. And I think having a trash in the room we cook in is completely unsanitary. What this one? The dog has a new chew toy. A thong? I wouldn't even know what a thong looks like. Geez, you know, not for nothing, but when Bobo brought that in that Dead Sparrow, you didn't even bat an eye. I got to get this cat. He's stamping on the computer. And yesterday, while I was working, he turned it off. He stepped on the power button. And that was not good. That was really bad, actually. So there we have it. Surefire ways. Now this is why I am accusing them of shenanigans. Star Wars, the sales force awakens. Do not get up there, man. So if you recall, you might not, this was huge. They had so many things tied into this movie, and it's all here, right? Star Wars duct tape, Star Wars Death Star waffle iron, Star Wars grapes. I saw Star Wars oranges as well. Here's a Fiat that's like a stormtrooper thing. Beds, dog thing, like everything you can think of. Nesquik, Coffee Mate stuff, lipstick shit. Like what? Mr. Potato Head. All of this stuff was just there, and it was everywhere. So, am I crazy for thinking that Star Wars would do something like that? That they would go out of their way and pay Mad Magazine to, one, do a mad look at Star Wars The Force Awakens, or two, do this, which also is just showing all of the stuff that you can buy. And look at this. And then all the companies. Come on. I mean, is it paranoia? Maybe. But is it wrong? That you can't say. Here we have the strip club, the dork side. My girlfriend complains that I'm too self-deprecating. Do you mean Oh. My girlfriend complains I'm too self-defecating. Do you mean self-deprecating? Self-defecating. It only hurts when I laugh. I hope you hit pause and watched it. Trigger McBride, horse cop in Rotten Apples. Trigger, have you seen my apple? I had an apple on the table, now it's gone. What's an apple? All right, the jig is up. I'm with Internal Affairs. We caught the whole thing on video. We even got you rating the sugar cubes, too. Oh, God, it's true. I did it. I knew it was yours, but I didn't care. 1 month later. I saw Trigger on his new detail yesterday. I heard they threw the book at him. Is he a meter maid now? It's not that bad. They put him back in the mounted division. Can't you go any faster? He's getting away. That's a fun little twist. Charles Brubaker. And Pat Dorian. Charles Brubaker. Oh, I was thinking of Ed Brubaker, the comic writer. Different guy. The Continuing Adventures of Willy Nilly. Holy shit. That's fun. That's a cool comic right there. Wow. That was really good. Here's Planet Tad. It's Groundhog Day. It's a day that always makes me hungry for hot dogs because hot dogs are made from groundhogs. That's what I'm talking about. Every time I bring this up and I tell you it's funny and then he doesn't do anything funny. I'm quitting while I'm ahead. Listen, I got to the point where I was worried that Planet Tad was going to be my lighter side of, where it's like, I love it and nobody else thinks it's funny, but I love it. But no, now you know it is funny. Here's Spy versus Peter Kuper. Look, here he comes. Oh, on a hoverboard. Now, did Big Hoverboard pay? No, because hoverboards aren't some giant conglomerate multinational. Hundreds of companies made hoverboards. Okay, now he comes out. Oh, he's going to grab it again. Oh, he squirts a little oil. Oh, God, he slips and he hits his head. That's much better. All right, so he's munching. This one is really I love the ones that require the guy to do something that just puts himself in that position. Okay, here we have the build your own movie. You guys, these are, these ones suck. They suck. What Mad should have never moved away from, the one where it's just like a sheet of paper, where, and then you have like a column, and it says like, you have like the, 7 or so sections of the menu, and then you plug it in and you read it. That's what's better. We don't need this. We don't need pictures to go along with this. It ends up not really being that fun and funny. Yeah, so I was always, Mad never should have done this. They never should have changed the format. Here we have Mad's Completely Honest Domino's Pizza Tracker. Your order has been placed. Dwayne will begin cooking your pepperoni pizza as soon as he finishes playing Clash of Clans. Can I read? Dwayne is using the bathroom. Dwayne forgot to wash his hands. Dwayne is laying out your pizza toppings. Dwayne just realized he forgot to lay out the dough first. Dwayne is starting over. Dwayne just killed a cockroach with a rolling pin. Dwayne is giggling uncontrollably while he draws lewd pictures in the tomato sauce with his finger. Dwayne is fishing out the class ring for the tomato sauce. And it goes, pepperoni is baking. Anyway, it goes on and on. Writer Kenny Kyle and artist Rich Powell. It goes, you see the problem with this? On sale now. A Mad 3 for all. Mad's Original Idiots. No John Severin? Now, I know I'm kind of living in a glass house because when I did those buttons with the signatures, I didn't include Severin, but I'm also not Mad Magazine. So how about that? Hunger Pains Much Delay, Parts 1 and 2. Come on, man. This is beautiful artwork. Beautiful artwork by Tom Richmond. Look at that. Also, like, I forget, this guy's been acting for a while. I forget that. Look at Donald Sutherland. I might have to rewatch these movies because I remember enjoying them quite a bit. Even if they were kind of like, they were kind of hokey, right? That's okay. But there we have it. The Hunger Games, some version of it, where they live happily ever after. Yuck. Here we have The Mad Vault, one of my favorite things, and it's Tom Chaney doing a Mad Vault. 10 concrete laws of home repair. The most important part of your thermostat will be small enough to fit through the grill of the nearest heating vent. If only one shingle in your house needs replacing, it will be located next to the biggest hornet's nest in the world. A plank that normally holds the weight of 5 men will break while supporting just one man with a glue gun over shag carpet. I think it's like a caulk gun, I think is what he meant. Here we have how to avoid the filthiest parts of airports and airplanes. Writer, Dick DeBartolo. Gary Halgren is the artist. Dick DeBartolo always does good with like these sort of infographics, paperwork things. Like I remember back in the day him doing forms, like IRS forms or stuff like that. Always does an excellent job with that. Do I even have my, here it is. What's the greatest April Fool's joke ever? A fold-in that doesn't work. April Fool. That's cool. That is really cool. I like that. How fun. That's lovely. And then finally, the back cover. Mad redesigns the U.S. map. Very simple, to the point, and poignant. You guys, this has been Mad Magazine number 538. Remember, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. If you've watched all the way through, say, howdy, biscuit. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.